Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Chill Sunday stream. Hope everybody's doing well. Gonna give people a few minutes to make their way in. Hope everybody's having a happy Sunday. Today, the plan is that we're going to be doing some Staxel, finishing up some stuff there, and then moving on to our next game, Hob. And from there, we'll be just taking our time, chilling, enjoying ourselves. Maybe talking a bit about bread and circuses today. Hello and welcome, Sam. Hope you're having a chill, lovely Sunday. Sam says boo. Who are you booing? Are you booing me? Or are you booing the bread and circuses? Ghost boo, not bad boo. Okay. Sam is officially a ghost and he's haunting the stream. So thank you for your haunting, Sam. Hello and welcome, Jalix. Hope you're having a chill, lovely Sunday and glad you could join us. Sam has gone ghost mode. In the meantime, we're gonna be popping into our Staxel world to build some stuff, build some monuments to our previous games, and then build our portal to Hob. So we made our 3 portals to these 3 games, these short games that we've played. So I was thinking we could just build little models of the 3 different critters that we had played as. So the first game would have been Paper Bark. The second game, blanking. Oh, geez, I'm blanking. What was the second game that we had to do? A short hike. It was a short hike. And then the first tree. Hello and welcome, Jaguar. Always glad to see the kitty in a box. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday and glad you could join. Hope you're doing well. So, pull up a little model of the critter from Paper Bark, a little wombat. I'm not going to do anything overly complicated, I don't think, for these. There we go. So we need... Jaguar says, thanks, doing better now after some work drama. Now we'll be doing some homework. Well, good luck on your homework, and I hope the work drama resolves itself pretty soon. There's just too much drama in life right now. I need like a dark brown color for the fur. I can use this for some of the lighter fur. Though I would have liked to have kept it pretty consistent. Let's start with that. We're not going to make these too big or complicated. There's the little legs for our little wombat. Maybe that's too big. I'm actually going to shrink that. Hello and welcome, Zero. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday and glad you could join. So that's kind of like the legs and the lower body. And then we'll just kind of... Oops, did not mean to do that. It always looks awkward when I try to put them in motion. Like when you try to get the actual body frame. Because you simultaneously want to make it look bent, but not like... and then we're gonna wanna start making the head here. You know what, I think we're gonna also, I think I'm just gonna reboot this and just not do it in motion. Because that makes it a lot harder to design. One, two, three, four. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe this is too big. I think it might be too big. Thems look like hooves when you buy the feet and go around really fast. I don't want to make these big, because these are short games. So let's do that. Okay. Oh, you know what? No. I know what I want to do with this. Make it this one. We'll do that. And then that. Start making the head here. Why is this coming out so funky? Why does that look so funky? Oh, I know why. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Little wombat dude. Doug says Sunday streams on Sunday. Have a good one with your hobbing, knobbing, etc. Thank you, Doug. Zero says we can't afford Sunday streams on any other day, not with these tariffs. True. They're way too expensive. I think that's about as good as we're going to get for our little wombat friend. Next we have the character from A Short Hike. Our little bird friend. We need a blue block, dark blue. And we're going to need a red for his shirt. Might have to settle for this purple, but... or this moon dirt, but... let's see what else we got. I mean, this... hold on. Let's see what we got available. That could work. If I built him right. And then the red shirt. Drapes around here. Go one more. And we'll have the arm come out from here to hold walking stick. Whoops. And then this arm can kind of be like that. And then little tail feather. And then the head is kind of roundish above this. That just makes it look spiky. I don't know. And then we need something for the eyes. Probably you. That just kind of looks terrifying. Let's see how it looks when I get the rest of the head on. That ends up looking terrifying. I think we gotta use a different block for the eyes. Still pretty terrifying. I need a smaller block. Maybe you'll do. Okay, that's a lot less creepy. And then the beak. I think that's pretty good. We got our little wombat dude. We got character from A Short Hike, and then we need a little fox. I also need quite possibly to extend this a little bit. And we can build the little fox. Orange and that. Could potentially use that. Actually, if I make use of a cloud block, I might be able to do an interesting thing here. And then... That fox's face is way too big. Need something that can work as the nose here. Actually, I think it looked better the other way. Maybe I should turn that upside down. Can I do that? No. Alright, then. I think that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. I think that's pretty decent for the fox. The only other thing I might want to do is... because I know I don't have white stairs. I could potentially do something like that for the ears. I don't think that makes it That's super necessary. I'm a big fan of the way the fox came out. I think this little dude is pretty good. The wombat's, you know, chill. Little wombat dude. But that is our little monuments to the 3 games we just played. Now to build something for Hob. So I have an idea of what to do with this already. I'm going to use these bricks here for our little portal. Let me clear some space here. So for this, I'm going to do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me a second. I'm trying to visualize what I'm trying to make. Okay. And then we'll go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But on here, I want this to kind of look like it's kind of a slot for a gear of some kind. Like you could get another gear on top of here that would press into this one and rotate around it. I messed this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. I want to extend this down by 1 here, and then delete these here. Two, three, four, five. There we go. And then on the inside here, we can put these. Does it really not let me stack those? Okay. I have a solution for that. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Kind of creating like a 3D effect here. And then we're going to wrap it around. Oh, I have an interesting idea to make this work. And now, what we do is cut this across here. Cut this across here. I kind of like that effect. And then we just do this. Which will make it kind of have an effect like another gear could kind of rotate into that somehow. Even if it's not perfect. Okay. What do we think? That 3D effect, I kind of like it. Okay, let me see what Sam had said and catch up with chat. Sam said, I'm picking up a rent-a-car tomorrow for a 17-hour trip to Houston to rescue my kiddo's friend from the ICE raids there. Shouldn't have to. She's a citizen, but she has family who are undocumented. Oh. Thank you for doing that, Sam. You really shouldn't have to, but thank you, because this is getting ridiculous and outrageous, and there are too many parallels to another time and another place. And maybe not another place. For comfort. But with that said, let's jump into Hub. And here we are, in Hub. There we go. I think I need to... Hopefully I don't need to restart. No, we're good. Sam says, yeah, only one coming, but she looks like maybe she spoke in Spanish, so ICE don't give a fuck. Jaguar says, and people who can't rationalize and do cause and effect can't see the parallels. It's very difficult for me. You know, today is the Super Bowl, right? And it's very difficult for me to look at this festival of capitalism, this festival that is uniquely of the United States, especially today, especially with the recent developments, and especially with the recent influx of a broader and more overt form of fascism. It is very hard for me to Except the bread and circuses that we are experiencing. Oh, I'm in control. The title screen was very dark, Jaguar. I don't think the game is on my end. Welcome to Hob, everyone. Are you friend robot? Sam says the only minor silver lining is that we have access to information that wasn't available to others during previous fascism waves. I disagree that we didn't have access to the information historically. The reports were coming out, and there were people leaking the information, much to their own detriment. Nobody in the United States wasn't at least somewhat aware of Japanese internment. There were reports in Nazi Germany of camps at least by the time they had the Olympics. And even if they tried to hide it from the world, those reports were not taken seriously. There were shipments of people sent across the globe, and entire nations rejected them. Sam says info existed, but they didn't have an internet to access it. I'd argue that's making misinformation just as readily available, though. You know? It's this double-edged sword. I'm not sure if the internet makes it better. I'm not confident that that's going to be the way that we look at this historically. Part of the reason that we're here is because misinformation spreads so rapidly on social media platforms. And right now you have an oligarchy of some of the largest tech billionaires that are working alongside the current administration to basically strip people's data and to change narratives and control information. So yes, we do have a platform where information is more readily available, but is that information going to be accurate? Or is it going to be used to cover stuff up? I'm glad you're on my side, robot dude. Sam says the spreading of misinformation helped us get into this. I suspect it will also help us get out. I hope you're right. Because the thing is there's going, if they get what they want, there's going to be a level of implementation of control of data and information like we've never seen before. You're looking at it from the perspective of the internet of today. And I don't know if we're looking at the internet of today. If they want to create... Is it a robot? It looks like a golem to you? I mean, it could be. It could very well be. If they wanted to create checkpoint systems, they could do them far more theoretically efficiently with databases and stuff than they did before. And that could be to check any bits of information or data. All you have to do is keyword search certain resistance terms and, you know, you can find resistance. I don't know. You think their engineers won't overcome our hackers? I hope so. I hope so. The internet of today is already much more fragmented and controlled than the internet of 30 years ago. It's definitely more controlled than it was. And they've been doing their best to shut down sites that are providing us access to resources and materials in the name of copyright. They've been doing what they can. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom about it, I promise. I'm just... Every tool that we can claim as at our disposal is something that is at their disposal. Plus they have money and resources. And time. And they're not starving. That definitely had some Legend of Zelda vibes to it, music-wise. Oh, okay. That plant thing just infected my arm. And that robot's going to save me by cutting off my arm. Yep. It is important to be realistic about where we are. And that doesn't mean dismissing the reality that this can be fought back against, that misinformation is the weapon they wield. That there's only so much they can keep committing vile acts and looking competent before, you know, hopefully enough people wake up to stop them. But I also didn't think that I'd wake up one day and be in this reality, you know? I didn't think that I'd be in a world where we were trying to hold off Nazis that are literally in power. I always had hoped that they would be a fringe movement that would slowly become more and more fringe with time. Now that most of our internet use is funneled through a smaller number of social media apps, yes, but anyone with a modicum of tech savvy can get to more private and secure channels. Yes and no. There are the cell phones that we have, the routers that we buy, the technology that we purchase. They're fringe enough. You can say they're fringe, but, 70 plus million people still voted for Donald Trump. Whether they fully understood what they were voting for is irrelevant. I have just seen too many people dismiss the current reality that we're in and say that we're not here, or that we're not... Oh, maybe he'll reverse course on things. Maybe things won't be as bad. Maybe this is just for show. Maybe it's just propaganda. And I have come to the realization over the course of my life that when somebody tells you who they are, you listen. Just because they haven't quite figured out how to implement all the things that they're trying to implement doesn't mean that they're not working on it. And fascists are notoriously inefficient and what's the word I'm trying to look for? I'm trying to find the right word. They are notoriously inefficient and it'll come to me. But the fact is that as Jalix pointed out, the Nazis got 33% of the vote when they usurped power. And people also don't realize that Hitler's rise to power was not him directly being voted in. It was more complicated than that because the way, Nazi Germany functioned and the way the Weimar Republic functioned, he had to kind of push and maneuver his way into the chancellor position and all that stuff. We straight up just put this madman in power. And I will call him what he is, because he is a madman. And this time he has the backing and resources of people who are more competent. That's the word I was looking for. Incompetent. Inefficient and incompetent. But there are people that are more competent than him behind him. And I'm not talking about Elon, and I'm not talking about the tech oligarchs. I'm talking about people who have spent decades building a movement like the Heritage Foundation and all these other organizations that want to further Christian nationalist goals and control people and manipulate people in the name of somehow being free. Sam says they're 30% of the population. A lot of them are having severe buyer's remorse now, and that he's doing the things he said he would. Buyer's remorse doesn't mean they don't agree with the fact that he wants to mass deport people. A lot of these people are single-issue voters who came into this looking at the fear that they had been fed, and they chose this. And I'm not denying the fact that there were deportations under Democratic presidents. I'm not saying that there weren't problems. I'm not trying to pretend that, this all just came out of nowhere. What I am saying is that the degree at which we are going to be jolted chaotically, the level at which ICE raids are going to be occurring, are going to be at a level that we've not seen before. And it's not just because the press is focusing on it more. It's not just because Trump is going to waive his executive orders and do all this. They have been motivated to move as a force quite similar to how we have historically seen people rounded up before. We are hearing somebody talk about building detention camps. This is not someone to not take seriously in that promise. And Zero says we lived under him for 4 years and it was bad, but that wasn't a deal breaker for too many US voters, so that's alarming. I agree. Because some of the things that he stands for are appealing to a good number of people. Okay, this thing is a checkpoint. Are links allowed in chat? No. No, they're not. That's a YouTube thing, not a me thing. Oh, neat. Am I able to, like... I guess I can put this over here and jump up. I mean, I know I can go through that pathway too, but... Jaguar says, I agree with Zero, but that wasn't enough. How that wasn't enough is beyond me, and the fact that a murder, robber, essayer, straight-up criminal can be president is crazy. People who voted for a criminal and rationalize it. But they didn't remember it, Sam. They remembered it fondly. They saw the stagnation under Biden and somehow decided that they were better off under Trump. And look, I'm not saying that there can't be a way to fight back against this. I think most of those voters are just Fox News only people. Sam, I don't disagree with you that they're a certain population that has been indoctrinated with false information through Facebook, through Fox News, and through word of mouth, and through a cultist mentality. But the fact that we've had so many people go with this in the name of change, in the name of any change being better than the status quo. The fact that there are enough people who are of that Fox News mindset that they can, in fact, develop, you know, those numbers and maintain them. I don't know. The fact that you had so many people who objected to Kamala Harris, not because of the status quo and not because of some of the things I've heard out there like, oh, you know, people are bored or people aren't good and, you know, people are distraught under our current status quo. Yes, there are. But the people who are not the people who overwhelmingly voted for Trump. The people who are most hurting are not the same people who voted for Trump. Racism and sexism were, in my opinion, some of the biggest aspects to why Kamala Harris lost. I'm not saying the Dems are blameless. I'm not saying there weren't a combination of factors at play. But racism and sexism were certainly part of that narrative. Sam said, I posted that link about the election breakdown. It was mostly people choosing not to vote. But why did people not vote? There was voter suppression going on. There was a lot of both sides are just as bad. We have had consistently 33% of the population not vote. So, what's the difference here? I'll look at the article quick. You know, give me a second on the game. I'll see what the article is saying. There's no excuse for abstaining over Gaza, in my opinion. You went from the person who is ready to sit down and have a conversation with people, albeit kind of milquetoast about their response, to the person who was flat out saying, let's just destroy the entire area and eradicate the people completely. The same person who then made an executive order trying, or whatever the heck he's claiming these days, to try to literally take over Gaza as part of the United States. Like, this isn't... Let me see. Although Donald Trump only did that... If Did Not Vote had been a presidential candidate, they would have beaten Donald Trump by 9.1 million. Yeah, we know that. But here's the thing. The data seems to indicate also, Sam, that the people who voted in swing states, or didn't vote in swing states, had a lot more to do with not believing that Kamala could be a leader because she was a woman of color. Yes, Sam, I completely agree with you that in 2020 the turnout was a record high because people were voting against Trump, not because they liked Biden. So what was it about Kamala Harris that changed that? Why were people able to come out in 2020 and vote against Trump, but not come out in 2024 and vote against Trump again? What's the key difference between Biden and Kamala Harris? And now look, I think Biden would have been a disaster to run the second time around because of the media influence, right? I think that the fact that the media already started to see him as an aging, feeble person who couldn't recollect his own thoughts, whether accurate or not, right? I think that lent itself to somebody else stepping into the role. But Kamala Harris was a better candidate than Trump in every possible way. Every possible way. She had a more consistent argument. She had a more consistent platform. She was talking to more people. She was constantly out there campaigning and discussing things. The only groups that she didn't appeal to were people who are Joe Rogan fans, people who are, you know, going to lean on that more conservative side. And I'm not saying Rogan himself is purely conservative, because he's a wild one. But a lot of the same type of people who would support someone like Joe Rogan's show is the same type of people who voted for Trump or didn't vote in this election. You also had a lot of the same types of older people who came out and said, well, I was okay voting for Biden because, you know, Biden looks presidential and he looks like this. But the minute Kamala Harris stepped up, they said, I can't vote for a woman because a woman can't be a leader. Sam says, racism likely contributed some, but I suspect more so sexism, given that we got 8 years of Obama. I don't know if Obama would have won in 2024. Even if he was Obama, and I think a lot of what we're seeing is a backlash to the Obama presidency. I think racism is playing a massive role in all of this. I do agree with you that sexism is probably a bigger contributing factor. I think a lot of sexism tends to be downplayed by our society. Not that racism isn't a continuing and ongoing thing, but the type of misogynoir that we see aimed at women of color and Black women in particular, right, is definitely a unique source of things where we attribute things to women of color that we don't attribute to men of color or to white women. And it's not just a sum of parts thing. There is a very specific form of racism and sexism that forms into something different for women of color. We got a sword. I think rationally you had to acknowledge that Trump was going to be worse on Gaza. Alright, so there's upgrades here. Zero says Harris can speak in complete sentences. That's the difference between Biden and Harris. Just kidding, we all know what the difference is. I mean, you're not wrong. Watching Biden during that first debate was hard. But you know, Trump was having very similar issues in terms of his coherence, and it didn't get called out the same way. Because Trump has always had that same issue with his coherence, and people just give him a pass for it. Sam says, I do tend to believe people more than they deserve when they state their intentions. You know, like I said, I think that a lot of people try to hide their intentions, and I think that a lot of people will also tell you exactly who they are. And I think the United States as a whole, as a collective, has told us exactly who they are. I think a lot of people, especially white people, especially men, are very comfortable with certain things being put in their favor, where they would rather see everyone else burn and everyone else suffer than help themselves even. Sam says, if you want to call that naivety or gullibility, it's just the way I've always been, part of my autism. The thing is, Sam, I don't think it's gullible and I don't think it's naive. I think it's about listening to what parts of people tell you. Right? When somebody says that they're willing to support something vile, when somebody says racism is an acceptable compromise or sexism is an acceptable compromise, I tend to have a similar response to you, but in the opposite direction, where I will look at that and I will view that person through that lens, because they've told me through their actions, through their words, through whatever, that that's an acceptable thing. Zero says, it's like our favorite fascist precursor says, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, well, you can't get fooled again. Yeah, so if somebody tries to tell me, oh, I'm a good person, I just think, you know, a certain population is a problem, I don't hear, I'm a good person. I hear, I think a bunch of people are a problem. And I latch on to that. Quite the opposite, I guess. I'm not very charitable in that regard. And I don't think people have earned that charitability right now. Also, that is really beautiful. We're talking about this very, very, very dreary topic, and I'm looking at this beautiful game world. And it almost seems surreal to have to juxtapose these two topics together. And I think part of that, specifically for me, Sam, comes from Sam says the X people are a problem example is one that I don't get caught out on. I think part of it also is that there's like this, there's a feminist thing where I don't know what the word is. I guess principle, where very often in relationships between, it's more often in heterosexual relationships between men and women than anything else, but men will kind of hide certain aspects of their feelings on topics, and they'll come out later. And I don't know why that's the case. I'm not here to explain it or where it comes from, but it happens very often where you'll get a situation where men will, years into a relationship, reveal something like the fact that they've been closetly anti-abortion, or that they're, yeah, or some other equivalent, right? And women often get caught surprised by that. But for me, I think that in a feminist view of the world, you have to be looking for those signs where somebody does tell you exactly who they are and be willing to listen when they do. And I think a good number of people in the United States have flat out told us that they are ambivalent or flat out are comfortable with the promises that Donald Trump made. And maybe that changes through buyer's remorse. Maybe that changes through a reduction in apathy as things slowly start to get a little bit worse. But the American people have told us exactly who they are. Jalek says, right, it's like guilt by association. If you walk under the same flag as Nazis, you practically are a Nazi. Sam said, I don't fault people for getting into abusive relationships. Narcissists are very good at preying on our emotions. It's really easy to not notice until you're already entangled. I'm not sure where that came from in response to what I was saying. Jalek says, since it's on you at that point to either leave or throw the Nazis out, so you're saying that you're okay with Nazis being in your organization. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, if you're comfortable with certain behaviors in your space, same thing with other things. If you associate yourselves with fucked up people but don't say that stuff directly, it reflects upon your tacit endorsement or at best ambivalence to it. Yeah, and I mean, there's a reason why the white moderate was called out as one of the biggest threats to the civil rights movement. The person who doesn't stand up to their neighbor, the person who doesn't do anything, the person who just is very comfortable. Sam says, sorry, I know it's stretched, sort of comparing the Trump cult to abuse victims. I'm not comfortable with that analogy. I'm really not. I think that gives way too much power to... I give... How do I put this? I think that gives way too much victimhood to them when they are perfectly comfortable with a lot of the policies that he is spewing. Yes, they are victims of him. Yes, they continue to be victims under the oppressive regimes of all the things that we talk about. Sam says some, not all of them. I mean, yeah. But at the end of the day, they're still comfortable with mass deportations. They're comfortable with the promises that were laid out. They have to be. These are people who proclaim, most of them, right, to be Christians, and they somehow decided that the solution to crises that involve mass immigrations of people from another land into their land is that those people have to be deported and removed because they're a threat and because they're violent. It wasn't met with any of the empathy or compassion that their own religion is supposed to spew. I think the difference to me is the level that it's hidden, right? There's a hidden nature within an abusive relationship where the person keeps promising you through a short periods of actions and short bursts of actions, things will be better, things will be fixed, I will stop the behavior. And many narcissists will actively fix their behavior and will actively make effort to like make it look like they improve themselves for a week or two, and then we'll go right back to the same behavior. And it ends up being a cycle where the person themselves gets broken down so much that they either can't identify it, or they have come into contact with aspects of this person where they don't feel like there's a way out. I don't see that kind of situation happening in terms of this. Like, nobody's sitting there saying, I have to keep supporting Trump for the kids. You know? Maybe Melania, I don't know. Because that woman never looks happy. I genuinely don't feel like she has been in all of this completely willingly. But, you know, and I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not able to go into all the details of this to the same degree that somebody who's a professional could, right? But most of the people who voted for Trump agreed with one of his policies. They looked at something and said, I like that. I like that so much that I want to see it implemented and happen. Jalek says they take glee in seeing other people get effed over more than themselves. Over more than them. Yeah, completely. So much of that they are okay with being effed over personally, as long as others are hurt more. As long as they can look at somebody and be like, you're beneath me, they're fine with it. Because the whole thing with DEI and that whole mythos that they've been purporting has been this idea that in their mind, people of color and women have been falsely propped up on a pedestal and given advantages. Again, this is in their mindset, in order to take positions from more deserving and superior white men. That's more or less where the mentality comes from. And yes, there are women with that internalized, and yes, there are people of color who have either misunderstood that or misunderstood their place in it, and they don't think it's fair, and they want the best people for the jobs, and blah, 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 blah. They've been lied to. But DEI has always been about this concept where you have so many white bosses who refused to hire people outside of white men, because the idea has always been that white men were given more jobs unfairly, even though there were very qualified women and people of color for those positions. And DEI was meant to even the playing field and finally give the people who deserved it their spot and their places. So when people voted for this stuff and they heard DEI as a problem, they actively believed that white people, that men, were superior in some way and deserved those roles more than the people of color and women that were in those roles. There is a subtle level of, at the very least, a subtle level of white supremacy and patriarchal norms that seep into these arguments, whether they realize it or not. Jalek says so much so that they're okay with... Yeah, I read that, sorry. Sam had said, it's pretty effed up when someone says, I just didn't believe they would do mass deportations, which means not only are they okay with that kind of lie, it means they're likely to tell those kinds of lies to manipulate people themselves. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Also, Jalek says that Melania was dressed at for a funeral at the inauguration. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that outfit was supposed to be. Let's see what you're doing, buddy. Hey, buddy. Oh, are you trying to kill me? You have shown me who you are. Ow. That guy tried to murder my face. Also the fact that, you know, at the end of the day, because a lot of us here are leftists, we tend to have a larger amount of interactions with trans people probably than or overtly have interactions with trans people than other groups, right? People are probably more likely to be comfortable with telling us their experience and not stealthing or protecting themselves on a daily basis, right? That's what I'm getting at. And going stealth, that's the word. And so we tend to perceive that there's a large number of trans people, but trans people don't make up an overwhelming portion of the population, certainly not enough to deserve, even if everything that the right wing said was true, which it's obviously not. It's not enough of a threat, right, population-wise, but we keep scapegoating these populations in order to preserve the status quo for white cis men, and it's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. Sam says, like, what they're saying is, if I were running for president, I would have promised mass deportation, but I'm good because I would have been lying. I mean, to a certain degree, I just think for some people, it's also... they're willing to gamble on it being a lie. You know? They're willing to say something like, I'm willing to gamble that this person is lying about this topic because I care more about this other topic. And look, at the end of the day, we were presented with two options during this election. There were two viable options. We know how the two-party system works. We know how messed up it is. We don't live in an ideal world, and we don't live in a situation where things are okay. We live in a system where exploitation is the norm in the system. And we live in a reality where people are very, very comfortable with some of the violence that exists within our state apparatus. That's not going to be eliminated in an election. We know that for a fact. Walking into that and knowing that outcome ahead of time, what you wanted to pick was which side is going to do the least amount of harm. The system is going to exist regardless. This isn't some miracle where everybody stops voting and the system decides to just overthrow or topple over on itself. We know that one of two people is going to win. We know that they represent one or two aspects of this capitalist hellscape, and it's up to us to decide which one in the United States is going to be the one that has more say-so. And that to me means that we pick the lesser evil. I'm sorry. It means this isn't a principled decision. It's about picking the one that we're going to have the easier time fighting. The one that's going to allow our organizations to stay above ground. That's going to allow us to continue to vocalize our perspective. The one that isn't going to start creating camps quite as frequently and often for more people who are trying to protect themselves. The one that didn't have a vice presidential candidate talking about having menstrual checkpoints set up to protect and make sure that, you know, women in the South are somehow not able to get access to perfectly realistic and viable healthcare, you know? We needed, that's it, Sam. We needed one who is less likely to cause as much suffering in the short term. Was Gaza going to continue? Yes. Was all of the other stuff going to continue to exist? Yes. Are we talking about a potential of mitigating some of the damage and harm compared to the Trump presidency? 100%. And that should have been enough for people. And Jalex, I agree with you. They were willing to gamble with other people's lives. You had a presidential candidate talk about the type of mass deportation that follow the logic on what that entails. If you're going to mass deport people, that means that you're going to need to round them up. You're going to need to put them in camps. You're going to need to put them somewhere before you put them somewhere else. The second you figure out that logic, the second you take even a moment to think about the potential of what that would mean, you are talking about concentration camps. Never mind the funding it would take, the resources it would take, everything else that it would go into it. You are talking about Nazi shit the second you think about it for more than 2 seconds. And people were willing to sit there and say, that probably won't happen. Even though it's happened historically. Even though the US themselves have done it multiple times in history, between what we've done to Native American populations and the Japanese internment, and just like, what? Like, I can think of 2 things off the top of my head, and I'm sure there's more that as a historian that I could drudge up or pull out. Like, this is the same government that 200 years ago marched people halfway across the continent and saw what amounts to a genocide in my perspective, right? This is not outside of the logistics of reality just because you can't fathom the possibility that someone could be that cruel. And we have the internet. You have Wikipedia. Go look it up. It's not that difficult. We've had people talking about it. There are tons of YouTubers who have brought this stuff up. And instead we get met with, well, how could you call them fascist? They're not fascist. That's not what fascism is. Doesn't matter how many times we state it in how many different ways, there will be those who detract from that. And I can't comfortably say that those people are not somewhat complicit and responsible. Choices were made. What is going on in this game? Oh, did I just get an arm upgrade? Hey! Add punch ability to the glove. Nice. And while I could rant about this forever, I'm going to take a break because it's around that time. And when we come back, we will play more Hub. We can talk more about the topic at hand. We can do whatever, But give me a few minutes, and when I return, we will continue the stream. So, see you all in a few. Bye for now. Hey everyone. Sorry about that long break. My cat needed my attention and needed to eat. We will have a picture in a second. I'm getting my headphones on as we speak. Also, hello and welcome, Perry. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. And we're back. All right. Oh, look at that. This game is giving me some serious Legend of Zelda vibes, but like with a very unique twist with this mechanical arm. Just readjust there. There we go. Much better. And checkpoint. Okay. So you want me to go over there? That is not the way to do it. I can break this one here. Summon a shield from your arm. Improve dodge rolling. Do I want want to get the shield now? That's nice. I've got a shield now. Where does this lead? Isn't this towards the beginning of the game? Okay. I wanted to see if it was possible to get one of them to attack the other. Oh, I definitely saw them do damage to each other. I kind of want to see if I can make that happen. Okay, or I could just get one shot. That works too. Alright, I don't think I'm getting them to... Oh, maybe I can get a different type of enemy to... He's definitely hitting the other enemy. How many hits does that guy take? Yeah, got it. Ow. And never mind. That's kind of funny that you can do that. Can't break through there? Okay. Guess I can't use that item yet. Oh, did I pass by where I was trying to get to? Looks like I might have. Oh. Oh. Okay. Those things just wrecked me. Oh, hello. We're getting closer to where the game wants me to be. Can I make these guys fall through this? Ah. Come here. Come on. Come get me. Come on. Push and down. Come here. Come on. We're going down the hole. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay, kind of enjoying the fact that the game lets you play around with enemies like that. Come here. This one's being stubborn. Come on, come on, come on. Yes. Bye-bye. Oh, there's more of them. Hello and welcome, Shark. Hope you're having a chill, lovely Sunday. Glad you could join us. And down the hole we go. Come on. We're gonna go down the hole too. I don't know if that's necessary, but I'm kind of enjoying fighting that way. Knowing that the game lets you. Come on. So close. There are 10 enemies to fall to their death achievement. That was an achievement. Okay. Now I'm very satisfied with having done that. That looks like certain death, so we're not going to go that way. What did you just open? Okay. Neat. Come on, kill this guy. There we go. Okay, don't step on the electricity. Sound device. Maybe don't go that way. I don't know what that does. That guy fell off to his death. Is this yeah, that's gonna zap me. Wasn't sure if that was on. I can climb up this way. Oh, is that timed? Is it a distance thing or a time thing? Because it looks like I have to get that. It looks like I have to get it into here. But that timing is really tight on that puzzle. Unless I can rotate this somehow. Oh, that's not great. Okay. This is a really good question then. How to... There's really no way to get there faster, is there? Anybody have any suggestions here? Am I maybe trying to bring this to the wrong spot? Or is it an issue because I'm falling there? Oh, okay. It was because I was falling in that spot. Where does this lead now? To this button. Okay, that's a shortcut to get back up here. Okay, we are officially stuck in this area. Which means the game is gonna give us something to get back out. Added warp ability to the floor. Neat. That's really neat. And that's our new way out. Good design. I just got one shot. But that leads back down to the other area that I was just at. I'm just trying to get some more enemies to kill some other enemies, because if the fake enemies fall down thing was an achievement, I'm kind of assuming that get enemies to kill other enemies is also one. Nice. Come on. I'm curious if that actually is an achievement. I'm gonna check. Because... yeah. Give me 1 second. Also, hello and welcome, merchants. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. This game is Hob indeed. Oh, let's check the achievement list. Use enemy to kill 15 enemies for you. Win without fighting. So yes, it is an achievement. Ooh, what am I doing with this machine? Merchant, you actually missed a rather good conversation we were having about fascism and culpability of Trump supporters earlier. I think you would have enjoyed that convo. Oh, is that a piece of heart? Yeah, definitely merchants. It was a good combo. And then I can swing over to these, because that's what that just opened up. Nice. Okay, I can't bring it across those lines. There is this one. Now does it want me to put this battery back in? Oh, it powered this. Nice. Okay. We can turn this. What if lifting or merging those spaces equal exactly? I think I fell into a weird crevice there. Trying to figure out where the game wants me to go now. Oh yeah, the walking platform thing is really cool. Oh, I see. Okay. Here we go. That looks like another set of those platform things over there. Oh! Doesn't look like I can do anything that way at the moment. I see a health thing down there. Hey, more health. Well, that seems like a dead end, so Looks like I want to go in here, but I probably have to rotate the thing above somehow first. But it needs power. Needed to check. I could grab that ledge down there. So the game does not like me going that way. There's an enemy down there. I don't know how to turn any of this on. There we go. Now that makes more sense. got power and we've got teleporters now. Okay, how do I get over there? There's a thing there. Okay, okay, game. I have to get to that other ladder back there. Somehow. But I don't think going backwards is the way to do that. Oh, okay. I see how I'm supposed to do it. Now I pull this out. It unlocks that. Okay, I was trying to jump. I was not trying to fall right into a pit. I do appreciate how frequent the checkpoints have been. It's long enough that, like, you can work on puzzles and stuff, but not obnoxious. Infrequent checkpoints are game-breaking, in my opinion. Before I go in there. Repair the Great Conduit. Jaguar says if I can't save every other 5 seconds, I'm stressed. That's kind of real. Jaguar says I'm busy, I can't commit an hour of game. Oh, okay, sometimes. So let me be able to save. Yeah, not being able to save is not a great feeling, in my opinion. Okay, that does shut off. But where does this lead? Yeah, that's not shutting off. Oh, there's no way I can do that right now. I probably have to do something on this side first. Also, I'm gonna have to start trying to find a good place to wrap up here, because we got about 15 minutes left in the stream. Oh yeah, the world building is really nice. kill me. I don't know what I expected. Supposed to do to turn power that off. Oh, I know what I can do. Potentially. Not what I was expecting, but... No, I can't do what I thought I was going to be able to do. Pet any animal achievement unlocked. Nice. Yeah, a lot of this is really creative. I'm enjoying it. I don't really have a lot to say on this game, though, because it's kind of just... I feel like I'm just exploring and going from place to place. And I'm not really sure what the motive is yet, but I'm just kind of enjoying the ride, vibing with it. Oh, yes I can. Yes I can. I can bring this with me. No, I can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Am I now going to be able to do stuff here? I did a big thing. I don't know fully what that means yet. Power doesn't seem to be an issue in that area anymore. Oh, this thing went up. And it looks like the next location. Let's get her. Schematic found. Warp through. Teleport behind enemies. Oh yeah, I completed that whole area. Nice. And that's where we're going next. So, as soon as I hit a checkpoint, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream. That is really gorgeous. So as usual, I want to thank you all for joining me for this stream. Pop is looking to be a good choice. We'll get a good few weeks out of this and be able to chill, continue on our little adventure, explore, and hopefully continue to have some serious conversations like we did today. Although I would really like to hit that check. I was just complimenting the game on how frequent the checkpoints were. There we go. Alright, so thank you again, everyone. Next week we will continue with more Hob. Until then, I will see you all on the Discord. You know, do the whole YouTube algorithm thing before you leave. Like, comment, subscribe. And, yeah. I hope you all stay safe out there. Do what you can to keep combating the more evil aspects of our world. And, stay chill. Enjoy your Sunday. Forget the bread and circuses that is the Super Bowl today and just try to enjoy yourselves. Stay sane, stay hydrated, eat something good if you can, and you all have a good one. With that said, my name's Anarchist Terra. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.